Luban learns his craft. Long ago, the Clearwater River bent eastward around a broad curve. Within that curve lay a village called Lu Family Bend, home to an old carpenter named Master Lu. The old craftsman had worked with wood for 40 years, ever since he'd begun his apprenticeship at 18. With steady hands and a humble heart, he built two villages, South Lu Bend and North Lu Bend. Though known for his diligence, he was peculiar in one respect. In all his years, he never took a single apprentice. Whenever someone came, bowing and begging to study under him, he would wave them off, saying, "What could you possibly learn from me? Haven't you seen my crooked roofs and uneven cabinets?" Over time, people learned of his odd temper, and no one asked again. Master Lu himself was never satisfied with his craft. He refused to teach anyone, not even his own sons. He lived frugally, saving every coin until he had 300 taels of silver and 3 fine horses, which he planned to leave for his sons to use in seeking a true master someday. He had 3 sons. The eldest, Lu Xuan, was 18. The second, Lu Bin, 15. And the youngest, Lu Ban, only 12. The 2 elder brothers were lazy, spoiled, and careless, too idle even to pick up a fallen axe. Their parents despaired of them. But little Lu Ban was different. Curious, clever, and hardworking. He followed his father everywhere, learning to draw lines, carry timber, and watch closely as his father swung the axe or saw. Once, when his mother couldn't find him at noon, she finally discovered him squatting by a construction site, chin in hands, watching carpenters build a window, utterly spellbound. By the age of 7, he was already cutting round logs into square beams. At 10, he could handle every tool in the workshop. Beneath the eaves and across the courtyard stood his tiny works, stools, carts, and little cupboards, like a miniature carpenter's shop. He crafted a chair for his mother so she could rest her back while spinning thread, and a wooden chest for his sister's sewing kit. But when his lazy brothers asked for help, he refused. There's wood and there are tools. Why not make it yourself? Everyone in the family loved Luban. As the sons grew older, their father decided it was time to test them. He called the eldest. "My son, you're grown now. A man of 18 must learn a craft. I cannot teach you. I've never been a master worthy of apprentices. Take 100 taels of silver and a horse and go to Mount Zhongnan, where the ancestor of all carpenters is said to live." Lu Xuan took the silver with a grim face and left. But instead of seeking the mountain, he wandered for 3 years, squandered the silver, sold the horse, and returned home empty-handed. The old man drove him from the house in anger. Then it was Lu Bin's turn. He too was given silver and a horse, and he too set off, reluctantly. After traveling a little and hearing that Mount Zhongnan was 10,000 miles away, he gave up. He drifted for 3 years, spent everything, sold his horse, and came home wearing a sack. His father beat him soundly and sent him away as well. Finally, the old carpenter called Luban. With tears in his eyes, he stroked the boy's head and said, "My son, your brothers have failed me. All my hopes now rest in you. Promise me you won't let my heart grow cold." Luban answered firmly, "Father, my silver is packed, my horse is ready. I will not return unless I find a master and learn the true craft." And off he went, riding west toward the mountains. Luban rode day and night. After 10 days, he reached the end of the great road, where a towering mountain blocked his way. It was steep and bristling with thorns and jagged rocks. An old woodcutter appeared below. Luban bowed and asked, "Grandfather, how far is Mount Zhongnan from here?" The old man stroked his beard. "Straight on, 6,000 miles. The winding way, 12,000. But if you wish for the shortcut, you must cross this mountain." Luban asked, "Is there any way to climb it?" The woodcutter shook his head. "It's so high you couldn't reach the halfway point in a year." Luban said solemnly, "Then I'll climb for 2 years. If I can't reach the top in 2, I'll climb for 3. I'd rather die on the mountain than turn back." The old man smiled, impressed. "Take my sickle. It will clear the thorns and stones for you." Luban thanked him deeply. With one sweep of the sickle, the thorns parted as if by magic, and soon he stood upon the summit. He hung the sickle on a tree branch, mounted his horse, and rode on. 10 more days passed. He came to a wide, dark river, so deep that a thrown stone made no splash. A young fisherman ferried over in a small boat. Luban bowed. "Brother, how far to Mount Zhongnan?" Straight, 3,000 miles. Winding, 6,000. The shortcut is to cross this river. Can you help me across? Luban asked. The fisherman frowned. Impossible. This river has drowned countless travelers. Luban replied, I fear no depth and no width. If I can't cross, I'll die trying. The fisherman laughed and said, Then bring your horse aboard. He ferried Luban safely across. Again, Luban rode 10 days, 3,000 more miles. At last, he saw a range of peaks rising before him. At the foot of the mountain sat an old woman spinning thread. Grandmother, he asked, how far to Mount Zhongnan? 100 miles straight, 300 by the winding road, 300 peaks, 300 immortals. Tell me which one you seek. I seek the master of carpenters. She nodded. There are 999 paths up this mountain. The middle one is his. Luban thanked her, counted carefully, and took the middle path. At the summit stood a cluster of huts hidden among trees. Luban pushed open the creaking door. Inside, tools lay scattered, broken axes, dull chisels, rusty saws. On the bed slept an old man with white hair, snoring like thunder. Luban thought, this must be the ancestral master. He quietly gathered the tools into a chest, tidied the room, and waited. The old man slept until sunset, then finally opened his eyes. Luban knelt before him. Master, I beg you to take me as your apprentice. The old man asked, what is your name, and where do you come from? I am Luban, from Lu Family Bend, 10,000 miles away. And why come to me? Because you are the forefather of all carpenters. The old man nodded slowly. Very well. I will ask you 3 questions. Answer them, and I will take you. Fail, and you must go back the way you came. Luban agreed. The master asked, in an ordinary 3-room house, how many main beams, how many secondary beams, how many purlins, how many rafters? Luban answered at once, 3 main beams, 3 secondary beams, 20 purlins, 100 rafters. I counted them when I was 5. The master nodded. Second question, he said. Some people learn a craft in 3 months, others in 3 years. Where does each learning take root? Luban replied, 3 months' skill lives in the eyes. 3 years' skill lives in the heart. Again, the master nodded. Last question, a master trains 2 apprentices. The first earns a mountain of gold with his axe. The second carves his name into people's hearts. Whom would you follow? Luban said, the second. The old man smiled. Good, you may stay. But if you wish to learn from me, you must first repair my tools. I haven't touched them in 500 years. Without hesitation, Luban set to work. The axe was toothed with rust, the saw had no teeth at all, the chisels were bent and blunt. For 7 days and nights, he ground and sharpened until his arms ached and blisters bled. The whetstone was worn to a crescent, but the tools shone like new. The master tested him further. Now fell the great tree outside, 500 years old. Luban sawed for 12 days and nights before the giant tree crashed down. Now, said the master, hew it into a beam, smooth as glass, round as the full moon. Again, Luban worked 12 days and nights. Still not done, said the master. Carve 2,400 holes, 600 square, 600 round, 600 triangular, 600 flat. Luban set to work. Wood chips flew like snowflakes. After 12 days and nights, the beam was finished. This time, the master laughed with joy. He wiped Luban's sweat and said, Good child, nothing can defeat you. I shall teach you all I know. He led Luban into a room filled with models, bridges, towers, cabinets, chairs, all made with exquisite skill. Take each apart and put it together again, said the master. When you have rebuilt them all, your training will be complete. So Luban worked tirelessly. He disassembled and rebuilt every model 3 times. He forgot to eat, forgot to sleep, his mind consumed by craft. For 3 years, he studied in silence, and at the end, he could rebuild every model from memory alone. The master was pleased. One morning, the old master said gently, My son, 3 years have passed. You have mastered the craft. It is time for you to descend the mountain. Luban's heart sank. Not yet. I still have more to learn. The master smiled. From now on, you will teach yourself. Go and make good use of your skill. He gave Luban the axe, saw, and chisels he had restored. Luban wept. A poor apprentice like me, what can I give you in return? The master laughed. Only this. Never bring shame to your teacher's name. With tears in his eyes, Luban bowed and left the mountain. On his journey home, he searched for the kind souls who had helped him, the old woodcutter, the fisherman, the old woman, but none were to be found. In gratitude, he built a tall pagoda where he had crossed the mountain, a great bridge over the river, and a temple at the foot of Mount Jongnan. It is said these still stand today. When Lu Ban returned home, he bowed to his parents and devoted his life to helping others, using the tools his master had given him. His name spread far and wide, and ever since, people have called him the forefather of carpenters.